just getting everything kind of set up here on my desk for this live. Hey everybody. If you're here for this live, we're gonna talk to Liliflor today. I'm just gonna wait for homegirl to show up. Let me see where she's at. Okay. Cute lipstick, thank you. It's actually a lip liner. I'm just reading these. Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Qualitonali, hello.
Mira, how cute you look.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good.
I'm refreshed. I'm refreshed. Me bañé.
Good, good. Me too. Me too. I got a little haircut this week, so
Look at my nails.
um, let's just like get ready to share space and exchange energy. I always like to do like a little cleansing breath, and then on my end, I'm gonna light some incense. But let's just take like take a little breath. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I'm gonna light this incense. As I'm doing that, I just want to say, everybody, welcome to the live. Um, Thank you for joining me and Liliflor over here. Artists, right now we have a show happening at the Cheech Center here in Riverside. It's called Indigenous Futurism, and I'm the curator and also an artist in the show. And Liliflor, she is also an artist in this show. And I just wanted to have like a little chat so that we can talk about, you know what? Like I want to know about you. And I have this like funny story that I'm gonna tell you. I don't know if I told you this
Oh
before,
no,
but
you haven't. But before we start,
uh-huh.
can I say something?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
thank
go
you, by
ahead.
the way. Welcome everyone. Um, and I wanna start. I'm actually practicing my Nawa, the basic Nawa, and
Okay.
introducing myself. My name is Nano Toca Liliflor Cuatli Yolotzi Lilia Ramirez. Um, so Quali Tonali, that's good afternoon to everyone. And I want to do a land acknowledgement first before we start and give thanks to the people where I'm at in Los Angeles and to the Tongva and Chumash Nation and to the also known as the Gabrielino Nation, to the past and present caretakers and descendants of this land.
Yes. And I'm here. I'm on Cahuilla, Luiseño, Serrano, and Tongvalan too, here in the Inland Empire. So thank you. Thank you for that. I think I've been familiar with your work for several years now, of course. Like I said, like in the caption of the post that I shared on Instagram, that you were like a OG. You're an OG in this game. And I think we were in a show, I believe like in 2020 at Espacio.
Okay.
One of the Poderosa shows. I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
sure. But we were vending. I was outside vending, so was Amparo. And I saw you there. And we hadn't met yet. And you were like looking at everything, all the vendors, and you came to my table and you were like, "Oh, your stuff is cute. It's cute." And I was like, and I'm not even lying. I got like a little booty tickled because I was just like, damn, is I want my shit to be valid. I want my work to be seen like it's serious. I was like, she should call my stuff cute. And Amparo was like, girl, that didn't even, she's saying that she liked your work. But that kind of sat with me for a minute where I was just like, man, it like exposed like a little wound I guess I have, that
Oh.
as a woman, as an artist, as a fan, like I feel like we don't get taken seriously about our work and our craft. So where I feel like this is like full circle for us to have our work showing together, there at the Cheech, where I feel like it's like elevating the work that we've already been doing for years and years. And so I would love to hear just like how you got started
Okay, can I
yeah.
interject on that story?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I stopped at your booth. I don't think I've met you in person, but I saw your work and then I
Yeah.
saw it again. And I'm just like that. I'm very animated and it's maybe I didn't articulate myself well, but I thought it was pretty, it's vibrant, and it
Yeah.
definitely tells a story. I can see it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's aesthetically pleasing. And to me, it's like, it's very anime in a lot of ways, but it has an aesthetic that's very unique. And it's
Thank
definitely,
you.
yeah, okay, it's cute. I like it, but I could
I mean, I'll
articulate,
take cute. I'll take cute. I mean,
I
cute's
could
not
do
a.
all of that, institutional academic talk, but I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
do that. It just came out of me because I really liked it, and I really do
Yeah.
like your work. I've seen your mural work as well,
Thank
and
you.
I've seen it, and I recognize your signature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Yes.
also feel the same way. People are like, "Oh, your artwork's so bright. It's so like, oh my God, Frida Kahlo," and I'm like, "I'm
Oh
not,
God.
I'm not no Frida. Oh, because I wear braids, or because I probably wear a flower in my hair, or because my art is bright and is
Mm-hmm.
culturally relevant. But
Yeah.
I'm not Frida, you know. So I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I love your work so likewise.
Thank you. And that I did not even take it like as an insult. Of course not. But I was like, why did that make me feel sensitive? And then I realized it's because I just feel like I'm always trying to feel like validated for what I'm doing. I mean, a femme artist, but also always working on women's bodies and
No, I can see
people
it and I love it.
people are
Love it.
weird like that. People are always weird like that, and I always felt like, what kind of work do I have to do to be considered like, oh, you a real artist now? Like, does it have to be like a realist? Do I have to be an oil painter? Do I have to do like portraits? Like, so those are things that I've always been like working through. I feel like much better and much more grounded with myself as an artist now, but it's a journey, especially if you've been in this game for as long as we have. And we did talk about like, we are older. We're okay. We're the tias here
Mm-hmm.
in this like art world. A lot of people think that we're maybe a lot younger but we have been around.
Yeah.
We've been on these art streets for a minute.
Yeah.
So, but I saw like an interview that you did with Rafa
Uh-huh.
and like that YouTube video, and I watched it and I was just like, well, damn, like Liliflor, she's been doing this for a minute. So
Yeah.
that's what I was just like respect on what you do on your craft and just like your longevity and also the things that you bring to the community, because they're so needed right now.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. We've been at it for a long time. I've been at it for a long time.
Yeah.
People sometimes are like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "I work." They're like, "What do you do?" "I paint and I create," you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they look at me like, "That's a job?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a fucking job." Yes, it's a
it,
job.
it
That's
is.
my work, you know, and it's something
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy doing, something that I work towards doing, and it wasn't easy. The journey wasn't easy. There's been a lot of uh, there's been a lot of growing up that I've done throughout the years. And I've had to have regular jobs, you know, day jobs. I even cleaned houses at one point. Was a handy like worker at one point because I was that broke artist back, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I got out of that. That was a whole other journey about. We could do a whole segment about the broke artist. You know, I went
Yeah.
through different phases as an artist. You know, but it was a struggle. I mean, there was times I was gonna get my car repoed. You know what I mean? Like, I was
Yeah.
calling my uncles or brothers, "Hey, loan me some money, cause like they're gonna repo my car." You know, the repo man's at my door, hiding my car at my friend's house. You know, I went through some times. You know,
Yeah.
and between all of that, you know, still holding it down in my home, still holding down community, still holding out community spaces, and at the same time, unfortunately, I got sick along the way as well. You know, I've had
Mm-hmm.
a lot of medical issues along the way, long-term stuff. That's been the last couple of years because of the end result of so much giving and giving and not receiving, or not giving to myself, you know, as
Yeah.
a human first, and also as an artist and a community advocate, you know, or people say stakeholder. This is people call it stakeholder, but like, because I do organize within the art realm as well, but I also am a very vocal advocate within any and a lot of social justice movements. If you know me, soy bien hocicona.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, you know, and that takes a toll on us, you know, and especially when it's giving so much and it's not being reciprocated back to you. You know, I feel like that a lot of times too, where it takes, it's a heavy burden to have. And so props to you, girl, for like making it to this place, to have your art showing, you know, where it is, and all of your murals and everything. Like it's been a journey. I know it's been a
It's
journey,
been a
you
journey.
know.
You know what? I wasn't looking to be a muralist.
Same,
Back in the
yeah.
day, with Chose, mi clan mural, shout out to him. When I started, I was just dabbling. I was just like, oh, I'll just okay, I'll join you painting. Okay, cool. Just a brushstroke. Okay, cool. We're gonna paint. Cool. I'll help you out. You know,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. It was more like that. And then eventually the opportunity came to do a mural, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it, you know, like, so I did
Yeah,
it, and then I just started doing them, and people just started assuming I was doing murals, and so a lot of work came in, and more work and muralism came in than actual art sales at one point, you know. So then that's what I started,
yeah,
the roller coaster like that. So now I'm just juggling both, and actually saying no to projects now, and
yeah.
no to other projects, because I'm actually very overwhelmed with work at this point, and I'm looking for an assistant. And if anybody's out there, yeah. So yeah, like I have, you know, I have a big trajectory of work right now that's on the table, and it's but I'm grateful because I worked hard, and artists like ourselves deserve to live and reap those rewards,
Yeah,
because muerta para qué, like dead. Wow, my family's gonna make money, you know, after I'm dead, you know, my estate, you know. I want to enjoy
yeah.
something while I'm alive.
I mean, I think too, just like the overall feeling, like where you're like, I've been doing this work, I've been consistent with what I've been creating, and now it feels like, okay, people are seeing, you know, seeing the work, respecting the work, elevating the work, hiring us, like looking to us like, oh, you know, seeing what we do, and so that feels good. And to be able to also be like kind of choosy with who you want to work with, like the communities, the projects, and I like that because I didn't like that energy where it was just like I gotta take everything because I don't know when my next,
That
and you work with shitty clients and or just projects where you're just like I don't know if
I
this was
feeling it.
for me, but like damn. But then when you get to that place where you're working with people that you want to work with and these are like projects you've been waiting like your whole life for, and it feels like damn, okay, like I feel like I'm on this good wave right now and I want to stay here, you know. And a lot of that is just believing in ourselves and having like that self-love, having that we're, okay, my work is important. I want to be like really like careful on who I share it with and who I work for. And so those are all those things I've been learning for the past few years, And but it was that feeling that made me want to send a proposal to do the show at the Cheech because I had never I had never curated a show before, but I
Wow.
was just like I saw so many artists, in our circle that we were all like the same energy, um really like lifting up the femme, lifting up the divine feminine and all the things that that means. And I was just like, damn, I'm just gonna try to put something together. I'm gonna, and the all the people who came to me, like all the names, it was everybody's work that was just it just kind of like popped into my brain. And I knew you and all and the work that you do and like your Koyoshaki series I have been seeing, off and on and stuff. And I was just like, okay, I gotta like reach out to homegirl, see if she'd be interested. You were hard to catch though. You were hard to like nail down. I was
I'm
like,
bad.
damn.
I'm bad. I'm bad, you guys. I don't know. I think I have like 3,000 emails I haven't answered, or like, I'm like, oh my God.
It was like some of the artists were like, okay, I'm down. Like they responded. And then there was some of y'all I had to chase. And you were like you were one of the artists that I had to
Sorry.
chase.
Sorry.
But it
Thank you
was,
for
but
chasing me though. And I tell people, please call me. Please call me. Like, be
yeah.
on me because, like, I will forget, like, unless you're
Yeah.
like texting me or calling me on my phone.
Mhm.
Because I'm bad at social media. I'm a late. I
Yeah.
don't know how I'm skidding on social media. Okay, but really, like, I'm more of a telephone. If you call me or text me, I could respond faster. And
Mhm.
Sonji will say that. Hi, Sonji, and hi, Alfie. And I'm like that. I will not like the emails. Like, I'm bad at checking email. I'll do it once a week because I hate like I'm a
It's a
very
lot of
manual person, like,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't even want to have a phone. I like my flip phone, you know, like I like the old school dialing phone. Like I could hang up on somebody,
Yeah.
Like, I like get home and there's a answering machine, and like I wish we could still do the beeper thing. Anyway,
Oh
so
damn, remember
but,
that.
yeah. See, I'm
So
not the only one. Yeah.
so like if you could share just about your piece that's at the Cheech right now. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Um, So I named it Ximehua Rising, and Ximehua is it actually means, it's a Nahuatl word, and it means rise up or stand up. It's like a call to rise up. Ximehua, stand up,
Mm-hmm.
rise up. Ximehua, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Diosa Rising because she started to get up, and I did a Koyo series, come from a Koyo Shauki series that I've been creating through the years because this is a process for me, especially doing the moon, the synthesis of nature, the moon, and we call her Diosa and a goddess, but really it's a synthesis of nature. And this I learned from Maria Oropesa Ramirez. She was one of my teachers and maestras from UCLA. And she's also does ceremonies. She taught me a lot of different things, but she also explained to me that it's like we have this Western view of like what the goddess is, or it's a god, but we didn't have a word of God. We had duality. names, and they were really based on the synthesis of nature representation of what that means as a tool for learning, as a tool to also embrace within ourselves, because we're energy too. So, Ximehua Rising is from a Diosa series that I did, a painting series, and the last one that some of you saw was actually the one before was a Diosa Dreaming, which she was like laying across and the Koyoshauki in the background. And this one now she's rising. She's starting to get up. She's like awake, like seeing it. And that's, I feel that was a self-portrait of myself, and it was me rising and awakening into a new phase of my 52nd year and solar year in ceremony, and this new fire is the un nuevo fuego, this so for us in the 52-year cycle, it changes for us, and so we become abuelas, which is pretty much grandmothers. And I was like, oh my God, don't call me an abuela. I don't want to be an abuela. I could be a tia,
Yeah.
but I can't be a tia forever. But I said, I'll be an abuela in training. So I feel more of an abuela. I'm abuela in training.
Yeah.
And so this is a dedication to myself. Uh, and a gift to myself to remind myself that I have to continue to look at the light around me, because that piece really glows, and you can see a lot of glowing in front of her. I don't know if you kind of see that. The grass is glowing and everything's glowing. So it's like seeing the light, seeing the glow within myself, and emanating that not only for myself, but onto the earth, onto the world, onto the viewer, and sharing that divine feminine energy of the chrome phase, or we know as the chrome phase. It's also
Yes.
another, people call it that. So it's that phase of shedding that light and bringing into balance of that feminine energy onto the earth and myself. That's kind of like, that's where that
I
energy came from, right?
I love it. I love
Of
it.
that
No,
piece.
that's the energy that I felt from it. And I just, it's interesting that you put like she's rising. You had another one that she was resting, and then this one is literally rising. And I feel like it's representative of the show in general. I feel like so many artists created like goddesses in their pieces, and we didn't discuss these things. Like I didn't say like, oh, I want you guys to create, I didn't give you like any kind of parameters or anything like that. It was just like I knew what you guys were already working on, like in your own, your art journey. And I just felt like everything that we were creating was already in this energy and in this space. So you saying that she's rising, and that's literally, I feel like what we're representing in the show is the feminine rising, those things like to stand up for the world, for people
Yes,
that are
for yourself,
hurting,
for
for yourself.
for
and and
everyone.
I and I feel like that is a big thing on the micro and the macro level. But on the micro, like, how much shit have we had to deal with as women, as femmes, those personal things that we have been dealing with in our own lives. And then it just, it's also radiating out into the world as well. But but like the goddesses, I feel like there's almost a goddess in every piece that we that
Yeah.
that is up there.
But I think this is the battle we're going through right now. And I think I put that in my statement as well. This is
Hmm.
also a call out to rise and to stand up for a balance on this earth, so we could
Yes.
bring it into balance where it's saying no more war. Um, and
Hmm.
especially what's going on right now. Ironically, even this show, I don't even gonna say coincidentally, because it's not coincident that this
No.
show happened right around the time of when Gaza started to get bombed, and even though I know the Palestinian struggle has been going on for many more years before that,
Many
because
years.
I actually did a painting in 2014 and I've done other actions for Palestine and the last decade or so. And this isn't new to me, but it's new to a lot of people. But
Yeah.
it happens to be that they said that's it, and we as artists, we said this is us, like at the same time, like this is
Mm-hmm.
land back, this is decolonization, this is bringing back the balance of the matriarch. And because the
Yes.
patriarch is fucking up the world because they're fucking up with their war games, this is,
Mm-hmm.
let's put this into perspective. The indigenous cosmology and cultures know how, or knew or had this knowledge that
Mm-hmm.
will help us to survive and take care of the world, right? And we're basically destroying it and
Mm-hmm.
destroying ourselves in the process. And so what do? We go back to that ancient wisdom, not ancient wisdom, but that old knowledge,
The
and
ways, yeah.
revive it and speak on it and reclaim it. And that's what we're doing. And we're also helping to amplify those voices, not only on this land, Tongva, or the Turtle Island, but globally, around all indigenous people around the world, and especially right now, Gaza. And we know that what they're going through, Native indigenous people have also gone through that similar genocide. Because whether people say that is not our problem, it's our problem, because we're actually living in a prison we can't see.
Yes.
We are prisoners in our own land, whether we acknowledge it or not. And we have, with this freedom to speak, and we do have certain freedoms to do certain things. Yes, we do. But really, in reality, we're also, we're policed,
Beliefs.
we're
Yeah.
police, we have to show passports where we go. We have to, declare who we are. We're monitored on our phones. We're tracked, we could go on and on. But this
Yeah.
show is timely right now as artists. And I think that energy of the divine feminine just surged for whatever reason. And that's what's going to do, because that's what the
Yeah.
voices that are needed, especially for Native women and Northern and Southern Native women and queer
Mm-hmm.
folks who are being, or are disappearing and missing right now. Right now, these voices need to be heard. So that is the indigenous futurism. So what is our future? The 7 generations to come is our future, and the preservation of our ancient wisdom and knowledge, because
Mm-hmm.
Aslan will save the world. And
Yeah.
that's a song from that's a song for Aslan Underground. Anyway, I'm just
Yeah.
quoting a little bit, but like I always remember that, because they always said it, Aslan will save
Yeah.
the world. But it's indigenous knowledge will save the world. And I think
And
also John
yeah.
Turdello said that, and
Mm-hmm.
many others.
And yeah, and that was the vision for it. That was the vision for it, to kind of, and that's to go back. We're going back. We're kind of like really exploring those like ancient technologies. What are those things that our ancestors used to do that kept them in balance as people, that we have lost, that has been taken from us, right? And so I'm just, every time I just see all the pieces and I go back and I look at them, and like they just give me like just like this feeling like really really deep inside, because they're speaking so loudly, and I want people to hear them, and I want people to see it. And I think one of the ones in the show that really just like blew me away was her name is Sarah, and it's the black and white piece, the like a woodcut piece, and it's called Rage. The title was Rage, and it's like a woman screaming, and I was just like this is what is starting this, like that sacred rage that we have, where we're just like no more, right? Like no more colonial violence, no more abuse, no more policing, no more killing people, no more hurting. I mean, all those things, all of those things. And so I'm just, I'm so happy. I'm just so happy that like I listened. I listened to my ancestors. I listened to my guides when they were just like, let's like explore this and let's do something like this, you know. Not knowing where we would I would be able to do something like this or do a show or that any of the artists would like agree. I was just like, I feel like this is just something that we gotta do. And then the fact that, like you said, like the way that it had aligned in October, and that's not even to say all the things that are happening like in the cosmos that
Yeah,
were
yeah,
support
they
that
matter
were
too.
that were supporting it. And I think that's what gave me like the push where I'm just like, I have I have the support of my spirit guides, the support of my ancestors. I also have the support of the planets and the cosmos. Okay. So like this is something that we have to do. And I just saw it from the beginning to the end. And I still feel right now like where we're showing right now is like a temporary place. And I feel like, you know, that I it will go somewhere else and it will be seen by more people, and it will also grow to have other artists that are in that same energy, and that for us to continue with this is
Yeah,
really
I see
mm,
it. I see it. I think I was thinking it would be nice to have a traveling show, you know, do like
mm-hmm.
other places,
Yeah.
other galleries, institutions to be seen, you know, and to share and have this intercambio, this intercultural exchange with other communities, other native communities, other native artists as well.
Mm.
I know Northern Native artists already been doing it, but us as Chicanos, it's a
Yeah.
whole other it's a whole other layer
It's a big
of
layer.
it's a whole other
It
big layer, right? And we're scratching the surface, even though a lot of it has
yeah.
already been done and it hasn't been categorized as and futurism like art or anything like that, but I feel
Mhm.
that our art has always been futurism and our creation stories have always been futurism. And
Mhm.
like, so they say, oh, man landed on the moon. Well, my ancestors had a hieroglyph of a astronaut, and and there's Egyptian hieroglyphs of like spaceships, like we've had this, it's like
Mhm.
it's not new for us,
But a
futurism.
lot of people don't know, right? A lot of people don't know, and that's where I feel like a responsibility to like, okay, our work is reflecting these stories now. We're literally telling these stories, so that's what is so important for people to see them. You know, not just like, oh, this is some work that we created. It's a painting. Oh, it's cool. It's hanging up in this place. No, like they're infused with like real shit. They have real stories. They have real energy, and it's like we trying to educate as well and to enlighten people, because there's so many people know all the shitty stories, the creation stories that we were taught through indoctrination, but
Hmm.
no one knows like those real stories where you really begin to see, where you know yourself, where you begin to recognize yourself, where you begin to recognize your ancestors, your relatives, like. And I feel like that's what the work that we're creating right now, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, and this piece, the Koyo piece that I did, and actually I have a series of different ones. Um, and this one, particular, it took me less time, like 2 months when I kind of just started, like
Mhm.
because I was sitting on it, like I told you, and I had a lot of things happen at that time. Like it was just crazy life stuff. And I like to work on these pieces whether on my moon or it's a full moon. That's just how I
Mhm.
work. I've been working this Koyo series, and one of my Koyo series, it took me 2 years to paint. But it's another one that I had, and that was one of the ones I told you I was gonna put in instead of like that one because like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. Anyway, so what I did and the story behind this, the Koyo Shauki, The story of the Senso Sinawa, her brothers, and how she got decapitated, but with Repost, she got thrown to the stars, and they became the Milky Way. Okay, that's like the story we know, but it's also a representation of the Milky Way, and it has the balance of the day and the night, fertility. So it's a lot of multi layers of what she represents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in the process of me painting it, I was putting all like videos of like the story and creation story of Koyoshauki. Even though I've heard it before, I was just hearing different perspectives. I was just going on YouTube. I was going on to the Unam page. I had a whole series, anniversary series of the when they unveiled her in 1978. They found her stone in La Ciudad de Mexico, and that was 1978. And ironically, in 1978, we also had the American Indian Freedom of Religion Act that was like, it passed, right? So now we're able to pray in 1978, and now we found Koyoshauki. Like that to me, like I started making all these alignments, like
Yeah.
in my mind. I don't know if it means anything, but for me it does.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm listening to her stories and the different symbolisms, because Koyo Shakri means the one with painted bells on her face, and that's what she has, painted bells on her face. If y'all haven't seen it, this is her right there. That's one of them right there. She's got bells painted on her face. And so that's what it means. So I started like listening more on it as I was painting. I was hearing the story of the sense of the sense what's Nawa, which is her brothers. I was listening to all these stories and like panels, and through the process, right? And they all had phases of me, and I had music playing, then I had native music or northern southern music, and then at one point I told people, okay, I want to paint myself. And when I'm painting myself, how do I see myself? But I need to change this up. I can't be all, about my duality, right? My who I am. So I put on La Reina del Sur. I put on her story, Now I'm like, she's gangster. Fuck that shit. I'm fucking gangster too. And then I changed that up too. Then I went back to the spiritual music. Then I did a little gangster music because I'm painting my body, right? So it's like I'm doing these pieces of myself on my body, and then I also put within my body that I painted. I also put my birthday, my birthday symbols that are in there. They're on one of my knees, which is Akal, and also the McKinsley, which is the known as the death, but it's more transformation, right? And so I have all those symbols in there, and all those symbols, the flowers, everything is intentional, and even the process of painting it was very intentional. Every part of it. Using lava stone for Koyoshauki. Lava stone is like our grandfathers and our grandmothers, las piedritas de las abuelas. I put it on there, because
It's beautiful too. It's beautiful.
everything ceremony for me, whether it's dark or light. And because the moon is in at night and is reflected by the sun, and that's with Huitzilopochtli, so you have all these multi-layers of energy that's emanating and glowing through that piece and through myself. And I went through a whole process because I was struggling. I was.
I
I was texting you, look, girl, I don't know, I'm gonna cry. I have all this stuff happening, and
Yeah.
so like, but spirit just said, nah, you're doing this, and I was like, okay, I'm doing this, and I did it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like there were a lot of artists that were going through it
Ah,
through this time, and I could tell, having dialogue with everyone like individually, like we had like a group chat going, but then we also I'm individually dialoguing with everybody, and I'm just like trying to give y'all like your space, but also giving you like you got this, girl, like we good, like you're gonna have time, we're gonna make it, it's gonna be good, because I didn't want to limit anybody, and I didn't want to have anybody feel like added stress, because I know what that feels like as an artist, where you're just like you're questioning like everything, and you're just like, I don't know, you know. And so just to know you, to have somebody like believing in you helps a lot. And like I was believing in all of y'all and everything that you guys were working on. But I know you were going through it.
Well, yeah, and I
And
think a lot of us, and then the war situation, I was crying. There was a lot of things.
yeah.
I got sick too. Like
And
it was,
that's the macro reflecting onto the
like it
micro. I
was a
mean,
lot.
we're feeling all of those things,
It's
and we
horrible.
think, yes,
It was bad.
yeah,
And I was just like, man, I go, this is like going to the Super Bowl, and I
hmm
don't know if I'm gonna be able to play, like I was telling people, regular people that don't understand, regular nine
yeah,
to five people that don't understand the artist world. I was like, this is like going to the Super Bowl to me, like I mean,
it
I've been
is.
I've been to Washington and Smithsonian to play live. I mean, to paint live over there, and that was pretty awesome too. And I saw that as the Super Bowl. But when Cheech, I got invited to exhibit in the Cheech. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the first Chicano art museum. So I mean, come on,
Yeah.
like it's like this is the Super Bowl game for me. Like
Yeah, I felt like that too. Just the fact that we're sharing space with all those Chicano artists that we grew up like looking up
looking
to,
up to.
and
Like
like
Linda
just be,
Gamboa, like I'm talking Asco, Willie Heron, like all
yeah,
the artists that have influenced me. People think just like Frida Kahlo influenced me. No, y'all are
no,
wrong. No,
no,
no, no. For me, it was Chicano muralism, Paul Boteo, David Boteo. This is the first muralist that I saw
yeah.
here when I was coming to the East LA parade to Obregon Park where my family lived.
hmm
And see, like in yeah, no, it's like that's not it,
it's a big thing for me. I have been a longtime fan of Diane Gamboa,
and Diane
and
Gamboa, Linda Gamboa, yeah.
like the space that she opened up for me, like seeing the kind of work that she was making when I was just like a young Chicano, like going to in college and learning about Chicano studies, Chicano art. I was just like, I don't know who this person is. But she was local because she lived right there in East LA too. And I would see her on the street sometimes, and it would just blow my mind. But I was just like, if she can make art like that and be taken seriously, and like her shit just didn't look like nobody else's to me, and that inspired me so much, and literally just gave me like, okay, I can do this
Yeah.
as a, and so I, and I'm like the queen of, all my women are like purple, they're green, or whatever, they're always different colors. And I always like Diane
Linda
Gamboa.
definitely had that going.
They inspired me, to to keep going in that energy, because
Yeah.
to see someone else do it. So hell yeah, to have our work there at the Cheech, and for what that means as a Chicana person, as a Chicanx, as just like as an artist, as someone who has their family roots or in East LA too, like it's a huge deal for me. And but it just feels good. Like when we were getting ready to install the show, and kind of be having the opportunity to go to the back, and where they had all the art stored, and
Wow.
just you can feel the energy of all these artists. I'm passing by them as I'm walking to the back, and I'm just like, damn, like this is where we're at right now. And it was good. It was a good feeling.
It's like going
And
through a vault where there's a bunch of bricks of gold. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you're like, this is a serious energy. There's some valuable stuff in here.
it
Like
does. But isn't it crazy? Like there's some people that they're just never gonna get it, and then they don't feel that. But I was just like, but we do. Like we're different, and but the same in that we feel that energy. We feel like we're just like, ooh, like this is like powerful energy, right? That's what it feels like. And so to think like we're tapping into that too. Our pieces that are there, like your piece has, you could feel that. I mean, not only because it's so large, but that bitch is powerful. She is rising, like her body, like all the beautiful like designs that she created on the body where it almost looks like she's wearing almost like warrior, like a breastplate,
Yes,
kind
that's how I
of.
want to look. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it looks like. But
Shield.
then also just the lava and you know in the moon, like it's such a beautiful piece. Like it's gorgeous. And I know because you have infused so much meaning in it and it has ceremony, it has like all your intentionality. That's what even gives it more, it gives it more weight, like in the spirit world, I feel like, because it has all these things like infused into it, you know? So of course I feel like these things have to be seen. Can they have to be seen again or continue to be seen? So, and that's something that I definitely have been working on and trying to like get that going, you know. But I definitely wanted to give it just a chance for people to come and see it, and I think that's why just trying to amplify it and trying to share it with people and invite people to come and see it, just so that it can get a chance to be seen.
Yeah, so
And
any of you guys that are out there that are watching this video, let us know if you went to go see it already.
yeah,
Put an eagle feather or a feather and or a heart and let us know if you came through. Raise your hand.
yeah.
And if you
Well,
haven't, please do come through. Share about the show. Tell people to come. You come. I think they also have an art walk night too, where you're able to see the whole show, or they have something going on with the museum with student
yeah,
deal.
every first Thursday of the month is the art walk, and so it would be you can go to the Cheech for free and do the whole
There you go.
museum if you want to. But anybody can come to into the Cheech to see our show at in the Altura Credit Union. That's always free, so anybody can just walk in
So you
to
don't
see
have to
that.
pay for the museum for that part of it. So you
Hmm.
can still see it's in the front. And
Yeah,
so anything beyond the reception desk, then you have to pay. But
yeah.
you can still see our show. It's in the front of the
But the art
museum.
walk is free. That day, the whole museum is free. They also have first Sundays, like family Sundays, and that's free to attend. And so we still have another, you know, we have the last day, Alfie, is February 18th.
Hmm.
And the exciting thing about that is we're going to be overlapping with Judith Hernandez's her retrospective that they're having upstairs.
So we're gonna have a
So
closing, or what are we gonna do?
I believe they're going to kind of join ours when they have her reception. I'm not sure what
Cool.
they're planning, but just the fact that we're going to be overlapping by a couple weeks, we get our show will still get to be up while her show is up, which I feel like that's exciting.
That's
I
kind
think
of
of
cool.
all.
That's cool. I think that's good. I
I think
remember
so.
also meeting Judy at school because I went to UCLA to World Arts and Culture program. She taught there. I didn't do the class
Hmm.
with her, but I did it with her colleague Maria Oropesa. I took a class with her, also a muralist artist and also a great maestra. Um, and I remember doing a tour at her studio and going into the back area where all her stuff is at, and I was like, oh my God, the Holy Grail, like, so I get that,
Okay.
like when you get to have those moments, or when I worked at the Fowler Museum and I got to, I didn't work there, we actually did a class there, and I got to actually handle some of the sacreds and go in the back area of the Fowler Museum and
Mm.
see all this old native indigenous work that's pretty much I think stolen, but I got to see it and be with it. So it's like being in these spaces like
Mm.
that is just so for me it's like it's a privilege, and it's
It
unfortunate.
is.
It's just sort of a privilege, but it shouldn't be a privilege. We should have this happen, like it should be natural, and we should have more spaces like that available for Native Indigenous people to exhibit their
Yeah,
work and have access to
definitely.
to Native and Indigenous art, ancient
And
art.
also too, I mean, just to have access for families and for kids. Me growing up with a single mom, like the only thing we ever did was go to museums and everything that was free. You know, Natural History Museum. We lived in San Diego. We did like the Museum of Man. So I feel very like museum spaces are like have been safe spaces for me, like good places. So I always think like, okay, how can we keep this like accessible for people to come through and see? And I did want to say that I want to plan to do like a walkthrough of the show. And we're trying to think of trying to do something about the end of this month and then doing another one in January. And like whatever artists can come and like do the walkthrough with me, you know, so that people can come and hear, they can see the show, we can talk more about our pieces and like just for people to get to know us too, and also yeah, just get a chance to like express ourselves and you know the work that we're doing and that we want to do and what we're trying to like convey, you know, to the community and stuff. So I mean I'll be in touch with you about that. But
Okay.
I think that's gonna be a good thing to offer, and just try to do it a few times before the end of the show because it's like the days are just passing by so fast, you know. And I keep thinking of like what are ways that I can still help all the artists to be seen and because you know budgets be tight and like there's so many things that I you know wanted to do and the budget's not all there, you know. So, like, what can we do on our own just to share without making it cost so much? I guess, you know.
Well, we'll work
So,
it out. We'll show up and we'll share with the people for those that
yeah.
can't at least, or people that are far away or out of state, that
Hmm.
they could see the show if they haven't gone. I think it's an
Yeah,
amazing show and it should definitely be seen and filmed and documented, shared,
definitely.
studied, all that good stuff. So
Thank you. I want
thank
to thank
you.
you. You know, I mean, I feel like I had a lot of the artists say, like, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And it's like, it really this is just like a co-project, like we're doing this together. I feel like I am one of the artists, but I'm just a facilitator like in so many ways. And like we're together in this and like any opportunities, like I want us all to you know be able to benefit and have our work out there because the work is amazing, you know, it really is. It's very thrilling to me and to think that we're all together in this beautiful little group, you know, and in this space. So this is really special. And I thank you so much for agreeing and just hanging in there and like pushing through some walls
Thank
because you know when you have so much resistance too, you know it's because it's very special and it has to be put out there and it's just like that resistance is just making it just even more amazing. So I can't even imagine girl what she was going through because that piece is fucking badass. So,
Thank you so
you
much.
know.
And yours, you did a pollo too, so that was pretty awesome.
I did.
Same
I
energy,
did.
and we're about the same
Yeah.
age, so it's great. So like,
Hmm.
it all makes sense. So thank you so much for your hard work. Can I
Yeah.
ask a favor? Can we like open it up for questions? Anyone who's out there that wants to ask
Yeah.
a question
No,
to
yeah.
myself
You know what?
or to,
Instagram's kind of crazy, it might just shut us down. But yeah, if anybody has any questions for reals, like a lot of times I like to wait till the end because it gets like kind of distracting. But
okay,
yeah, if anybody has any questions, I haven't really been.
I
Let me
kind of been
see.
trying to interact a little bit.
Yeah. Hi
What is
everybody.
the now?
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody said if you have the Cheech debit card through Altura, you get access to both RAM and the Cheech for free for
Oh
two people.
wow.
So that's cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's
Interesting.
see. Beautiful Medicina. Thank you, Vero.
Thank you, Vero.
And, and Vero is she's my good sis, and she did like a blessing for us the night of
Thank
the artist
you.
reception outside.
Thank you, Vero, for that.
Alfie, okay, yeah. So the last day again for the show is February 18th. So we have, we got plenty of time, and we are going to organize some walkthroughs. So I think that's gonna be fun to do too. Let's see. Thank you. Let me see. Okay. So what are you so if anybody has any questions, we'll see, but share with us like what you got going on right now. Are you working on anything or
Right now, yes, come through, Alfie. Um,
yes.
I'm exhibiting at the Watts Tower Gallery, is the Black
Okay.
and Brown show. And then also at the DWP uh, main art gallery in downtown LA. And then I'm doing this, and I just painted a mural for Universal Pictures, the Wolfman, El Hombre
I
Lobo.
saw that.
Thank you. And I also have two murals that I'm finishing up that I haven't announced that they've been done with, as a matter of fact, with Sonji helped me in one of them. Sonji Art, she's online. Um, it's a 26-footer right here in East LA. I just haven't unveiled it because we're not allowed to yet. And also a mural in Locke High School that I'm finishing up. That one's I'm finishing up. The other one's pretty much done. I just gotta sign it and seal it. And I'm doing a restoration project at Academia Semillas del Pueblo because I painted the front. Quetzalcoatl there, so I'm gonna revamp it because it needs a touch up after over 10 years. So
Wow.
that's how I'm doing that now, and I'm waiting for a grant that they're gonna say yes to do a mural project, and
Thank God, yeah.
just waiting for the new year and working on my merch. I'm also dropping some merch, you guys, and I'm actually getting some new prints of my new works. And I'm also going to be dropping my book this year. I said this year I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. It's been like 4 years I've
Wow.
been working on it. It's a planner book. It's a Diosa planner. And it's going to be fun. It's with my artwork. It's my black and white work. And I can't wait to share with everyone. This
Nice.
year is going to be the year to drop some gems and hopefully get some support and continue to do this work.
Yes. Damn, girl, you're busy. There's
And
a
then,
question.
and
Uh,
I am looking for an assistant for real, for real, for real. I'm looking preferably a student that could do archiving. I'm looking for archiving because I archive
mm,
almost 30 years of work. A
yes,
lot.
I've thought of that as well, but I think I'm gonna hire one of my kids because I'm like, you're right. When you've been working for years and years, I think of that all the time, and especially now as a digital artist, I have like tripled, quadrupled the amount of work that I have because it's digital. And I'm like what do I do with it and how do I all the things. So yes to the archiving. But Beto asked a question. Any dream collaboration you would like to do, both of you? Oh, a collab?
That would be nice, actually. That's a good one, y'all.
I know.
Yeah,
Damn.
think about that. They threw that on us right now.
I know. I mean,
Here.
I've thought of like brands, like working with certain brands, like over the years. Like I always wanted to do a collab with Vans, like a shoe. I don't know if I feel that the same way now, but I know that like in the past that was like a dream for me. But I think for me, if I do want to do any kind of collab, I would want to do um like some kind of like design, like housewares kind of thing. I don't know. I always think of that.
Yeah.
I think of that. Um, but also too, just I love when my work gets married with like the spiritual and with birth workers and therapists and healers. I feel like that is a beautiful place for my work, and I like those kind of collaborations, you know,
Mm-hmm.
tarot like decks, creating like oracle decks, things like that, that
So
where
many
people are going,
things
people are people can use them, you know,
all
for
the time.
practical, tangible
Mm-hmm.
things, but also you get to infuse it with your work. So for me, that's always like a goal for collabing is in that way, you
Yeah.
know.
One of the things I would like to do is to collab is do like an album cover for someone that I like,
Hmm.
you know,
Yes.
like Erica Badu
Yes.
or like Lila Downs or Anna
Hmm.
Tijoux, you know, like those
Yeah.
are, you know, or anyone really, because I like a lot of music and different genres. But definitely an album cover has always been one of those things I would like love to do for anybody. You know what I mean? Like I'll make something, you know, like an album
Yeah.
cover. That's pretty much where I merch wise, because an album cover, like even if you don't buy the actual album, you can see it digitally, the art, you know. So I don't
Hmm.
really care, you know what I mean. But before you buy actual albums, which I want to see it on an actual album, be nice on a
Yeah.
vinyl. That would be like a dream because I have vinyls. I collect vinyls myself. I have records and a record player. So
Hmm.
I think for a cover, an album cover would be awesome.
I mean, I want to say I'm surprised that you haven't done that yet, you know.
I know, huh? I've done
But
books, I think. I did a
yeah.
book, and I've done like I did midwifery magazine. One of like
Hmm.
my pieces is on there, and covers for like research papers and like state
Yeah.
papers and stuff like that. Trippy like Latino like stuff. They asked me to do stuff, and I'm like, yeah, go for
Hmm.
it, you know, and just give me my
Yeah.
credits, you know. But I've done different publications, but not an album cover. People,
Mm. I mean, when I would always think like, okay, when you're, I don't know if you have had this thought when you're an artist, you're like, okay, what is it beyond me, the joy of just making it, like, what worth does it have to the rest of the world, you know? And I mean, you think of like practically like these things that we're talking about, like collab wise, yes, those are all like things, but I feel like spiritually our work is very important. And I think it took me a really long time to get to that place of understanding where I would just thought like, what worth is it? Something that I painted, it looks good, someone wants to hang in or someone wants to buy it. Okay, then what? But that's such a short-sighted way of looking at art. That's like not even the way I feel like you should look at art, you know, like it has so many other beautiful things about it. And I think now it's, for me, like art is like a portal. It's like a portal to so many things, so many places to go in your mind, so many places to go in your toward with your heart. And so yeah, I don't know. I kind of went off on that one.
yeah, it's okay, it's okay. It's I'm listening. All good,
But
yeah.
oh my God, but thank you so much for just joining me. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know this is like a good hour, which is usually how long we do these. But this was fun. Thank you for just being you and, you know, saying everything that was on your heart. I appreciate you and your work is beautiful. I'm a fan.
Oh, shut up! I'm a fan too. Um, yeah, that's good. I was thinking, ah, she's so young. She's like, you know, she's my little sister. Like, girl, look at yeah, ya te traga los años, yeah. Sí te traga años.
I've been here, girl. I've been through some things. So yeah, yeah, you know. But I'm grateful to be here,
I am grateful to
and
be here. And thank you, everyone who tuned in, stayed with the
yes,
Plática, all the artists or non artists, fans, patrons, supporters, friends, familia. Muchas
yes,
gracias for tuning in and hope to see you at the Cheech.
yes, for sure. Bye. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
sister. Much love.
Bye. Much love to you.